this tutorial, we're gonna take a look at how we can make this shop UI in order to buy item, and we can disable it and we can enable as well. And before I jump into the coding part, I want to thank Mustafa Onal for taking Patreon membership and unlocking some exclusive benefits. And if you are guys interested, then you can join too. I have the link in the description, so go and check it out. It's time to create the shop UI. So we will go to hierarchy. Let's right click or hit this plus icon, go UI and select this canvas and select your canvas. Go to canvas scalar component and UI scale mode to choose scale with screen size, and in the X or in the width we're gonna put 1920 and in the Y we're gonna put 1080. And if your game in portrait mode, then you can basically swipe this value and you are good to go. And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna create an empty parent game object first, and then we're gonna create the shop UI because we just want to keep all of the things clean. So that is the reason. So we're gonna choose our canvas. Let's right click on it. Let's create an empty child game object, and I'm gonna name this game object to something like shop underscore UI. And we're gonna press down F to focus on it, and we're gonna make this game we're gonna make this game object as the size of our canvas. To do that, let's go to rect transform, then click here and hold down Alt on your keyboard and choose this bottom right one. And as soon as we have frozen, we can see this game object get resized as the size of our canvas. And now we can just create our shop UI. First thing, I'm gonna create a UI somewhere around here, basically a game object first, and I'm gonna make it something around like this size, and then I'm just gonna create the icon and then buying button and all of those stuff. So let's select the shop UI, and now underneath our canvas, let's right click on it. Let's create another empty child game object, and we're gonna put it always to the down. So we will go to rect transform, and we're gonna hold down let's click here and we're gonna hold down Alt, and we're gonna choose this one which is bottom right one from this top one. Basically select this one to the right section, and we're gonna drag it a little bit up, and we can just choose the rake tool to resize this in this way. I can just leave it like this. It seems also fine. And now I can call it something like banner, or let's call it simply panel. I'm gonna call this one panel. And now let's go ahead and let's create the icon and those button. So let's select the panel, let's right click on it, let's go UI. So we want the icon and the button and all of the things inside this game object, which is panel, which we recently created. So I want to have inside that, so that's why I'm gonna choose the panel instead of this shop underscore UI. So I'm gonna choose our panel. Let's right click on it, let's go UI legacy, sorry, not legacy, go UI and choose this image, and we're gonna call this image to something like slot 1. I'm gonna call it slot 1, slot underscore 1, something just like that. And I want to replace this with a source image, so I can just drag over to this image component. For that, I'm gonna navigate to my assets sprites folder, then I will navigate to my UI folder, then this first folder, and I'm gonna select this one. Let's drag it there. I will have a link in the description, you can go and check it out. And first thing, I'm gonna resize it, so I'm gonna hold down Alt, so it's gonna resize from center, and you can hold down Shift, it will resize from in the X and in the Y with same portion, something just like that I want. And what I want to do, I want to put a icon inside this slot 1 game object that I created. So I'm gonna select my slot 1, so I want to have the icon inside this, so I'm gonna choose the slot 1 instead of the panel by now. So I'm gonna choose our slot 1, let's right click on it, let's go to UI image, and I can call this one to something like icon. And now I can just drag the icon. You can see I have the diamond over here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna select any of them, then drag it over to this source image fill, and as soon as we drag it, we can see the diamond sprite or the diamond icon. and I'm gonna set the native size. So I'm gonna click on this set native size, and I just want to increase the size of it. So I'm gonna hold down shift on my keyboard and this rake tool, and let's put it inside this, something just like this. And we want this icon to resize it from this corner. So we can just go to rake transform, then we can click here, and then we can hold down all, and we can choose this bottom right one. And now we're gonna hold down alt, so it's gonna resize from center just like this, and we're gonna put it somewhere around here. And I'm gonna make the slot size a little bit less, so I can just hold down shift, hold down alt, so it's gonna resize from center just like that. And we also want to have a price tag somewhere around here and a buy button in the bottom. So let's do them. So the first thing, I'm gonna put a text. So let's select the slot underscore one. We're gonna right click on it. Let's go UI and then legacy, and then choose this text. And I'm gonna call this one to something like price text, price underscore text. And I'm gonna anchor it somewhere around here. So I will go to rake transform, and I'm gonna choose this one, and I'm gonna resize. And let's go to text component alignment. I'm gonna choose both of this center. Font size, I'm gonna make it something like 60, a little bit less. And font style to bold, and I'm gonna change the color, and we can choose any font that we would like to go with. So I'm gonna go with this one, and instead of saying new text, I'm gonna say something like 10, and we can just increase the size of it. So let's increase something like this. Is basically the price tags, just like that. And I think this is pretty much fine, and we're gonna drag it a little bit up. And now we want to have a buy button. So I'm gonna drag my a little bit to the top somewhere around here. So let's put a buy button. So I'm gonna choose my canvas. Let's drag it in the top of hierarchy so we can see all the time. And let's select that slot once again. We're gonna right click on it. Let's go UI legacy, and then we will select this button, and let's call this button to something like buy button. So I'm gonna call this one buy button. And now we just want to put this button in the bottom. So we will go to rake transform, and we're gonna anchor it in the bottom. So let's drag it somewhere around here, and just we can just make this like this. I'm gonna drag the same square, so I'm gonna drag it there. And now we have to make the text inside this button a little bit up. So I'm gonna choose the font size something around 50, and I'm gonna change the color, as well as I'm gonna say something like buy. And we're gonna choose font style to bold. I'm just satisfied. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn it into a prefab. So I'm gonna drag it over to my prefabs folder. I will navigate to my prefabs folder, and I'm gonna just turn it into a prefab. So let's drag it inside this other prefab subfolder, and we just create it now. And we want somewhere around here from here. So what we will do now, we're gonna duplicate this one to create multiples. One for we're gonna have for collecting the heart, basically increasing the player health, player speed, player jump, and the list just goes on. So we're gonna do that. We can duplicate from here, which is fine. Instead of duplicating from here, we're gonna duplicate from that prefab folder, because if we duplicate this one and duplicate one, if we name it to something like slot 2, and then go to the first one, go to overrides, and then apply all, so the changes will be saved to the duplicate one. So that is the reason duplicating in the hierarchy, we're going to duplicate from that prefab folder. So I'm going to go over to my other stuff where I just drag it the slot one. So I'm going to press down the Control D to duplicate, and I'm going to name the duplicate one to something like slot 2. So let's right click on it, let's rename, and I'm going to call it slot underscore 2, something just like that. and I'm gonna take my slot 2 and let's drag it over to this panel game object in the hierarchy underneath my shop underscore UI. And we can see both of these slot gets overlap at one position. To basically avoid that, we're gonna add a component called grid by cell count. So basically we need to select the parent game object. So in our case that will be panel, then click on add component and attach a component called grid by layout group, and now it's gonna do this for us. And we can just play around with the x size. From spacing in the x, we're gonna make it something like this. So we can just go to padding. From the left, we can just move it 50. I'm gonna do it something like 100. And from the top, I can see it's fine. And the cell size, we need to play, we can just make it 50. I'm gonna make it something like 200. 200, and this 200 as well. And as you can see, it seems pretty much fine. And spacing in the y, sorry, space from the bottom, I'm going to drag it a little bit to the top side. So just play around with this value and you will get the perfect. So in the x spacing, I'm just gonna do it something just like that. And we can see by now we have the buy button and the icon. And in underneath my slot 2, I basically want to change the icon of it and also the price tag. So I will double click on this slot 2 inside that folder. So I'm going to double click on it and I'm going to choose the icon, and we can just replace the source image. For it, I'm going to navigate to my sprites folder, and then I will head over to my UI. Sorry, I'm going to go over to my collectibles, and over here I'm going to select my heart. Let's drag it there, and you can see it just changed it right away. And we can choose the price tags, and let's make it something like around 5 to just make it a little bit different. And we can just go back and we can create as many we want. We can just select our this slot 2, and we can just duplicate that one from that folder. We can duplicate it from here as well, but duplicating here in the hierarchy, make sure you duplicate from that folder, it's gonna be fine. And if we duplicate, we can see it just added. So I hope you get the idea that how you can do it. And now what we're gonna do, we can select our shop UI, and we're gonna make it into a prefab. So we just gonna have the copy of it. So I'm gonna select my shop UI. Let's turn that one into a prefab as well. And now what we have to do, we basically need to activate or deactivate this shop UI whenever we need. So we can just do it. And for that, I'm gonna open up my player script. So let's go to top of our class, and the first thing we need a reference to that shop UI. So let's make a game object for it. So we're gonna make a public that show a shop UI itself a whole game object. So we're gonna type game object, and we can call it something like shop. Let's call it shop UI, something just like that. Underneath my player script, I can see shop UI. So I'm gonna select my shop UI. Let's drag it there. And now we need a way to activate and deactivate. So the first thing, I'm gonna deactivate in the start of the game. So I will move over to my start function, and you can ignore this line of code. And in the start of the game, I will set the shop UI dot set active, basically activating, or you can say enabling or disabling. I'm gonna set it to false, because I don't want the shop UI in the start of the game. But once I'm gonna right click, I do want, so I will move over to this update function, and over here what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna check for a key. So I'm gonna use this if condition, and over here I'm gonna check if input dot get mouse button down, and now it's gonna take the button. So if we put 0 means the left mouse button, because I want to check with the right mouse button, so I'm gonna put 1. So if I click the right mouse button, then I just want to activate. So I will go to shop UI game object, and then we're gonna use this function called set active, and we're gonna set it to true. It means we just enabling our shop UI. We're gonna notice that as soon as our game started, we can see that shop UI gets disabled or just gets deactivated. and if I click right mouse button, you can notice that gets enable, and you can just do it once again as many times you want. I want to check with the space key. If I press down space key on my keyboard, then I want to disable the shop UI. So over here I'm doing, if I press down the space key, then I'm jumping. So at the same time I'm just gonna disable. So I will go to shop UI game object, and now we're gonna use the set active function, and we're gonna set it to false, so it will be disabled right away whenever we're gonna press down space key on our keyboard. Now if I click the right mouse button, you can see our shop UI gets enabled, and if we press down space key, we can see it's get disabled. So we can enable and disable